So last night I finished Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and I just want to have a discussion about it. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, leave a comment, please and thank you.
Dangerous. Edward. Privateering. Is it dangerous?
Wouldn't pay so nice if it weren't.
Why not sail with the King's Navy? Earn a proper wage, sail under gentlemen.
Sod the Navy's gentlemen. For every shilling I'd earn, the captain gets 600. That's no way to earn a fortune.
We don't need a fortune.
It's not about need, Caroline. I want food that don't make me sick. I want walls that hold back the wind. I want a decent life.
How long would you be gone with these privateers?
So Assassin's Creed Black Flag is the fourth Assassin's Creed in the series. The fourth mainline Assassin's Creed in the series. It was released in 2013, developed and published by Ubisoft. The story's about Edward Kenway and his journey on the high seas, trying to make his way and show his ambition and the ability for him to make more out of his life than what he started out with. So he has a wife, and then he leaves her to try to go chase getting money, clout, fame, and treasures and things like that, and turns into basically a pirate, but finds a way to make some money in the beginning. So he kills an assassin and then takes his gear and then goes to try to fulfill what his job was in order to make some money, and then he gets lost in the whole Assassins Templar thing, meets a bunch of pirates, meets a bunch of people from the fleet from either Spain or England, and it's just kind of a nice tale. The story is relatable for Kenway because he wants, fame and money, but it's also not in some ways because he just kind of like acts stupid in certain scenarios where it's like, okay, yeah, but like you could just not. And I get it, like you gotta push the story forward, but some of the stuff was just kind of, it just felt a little forced. But overall, the story is the part that kept me trying to finish the missions. Some of the missions structures are pretty, I don't know, it's like finicky, I guess, where you just kind of have to get lucky on some of them. Or some of them, it's like you're stealthily trying to chase them through, but then they put, like, especially towards the end of the game, they put so many enemies everywhere where it's like you can either just, like, if you get spotted by somebody, it just automatically desynchronizes, and it's like, okay, but there's like hundreds of enemies. So there's some aspects where it's like, well, yeah, and then you're supposed to like kill this guy, it's an assassin, so you're supposed to stealthily kill him. But it just seemed like there was like one specific way to do that they wanted you to do. And it felt a little bit like trial and error and about like luck. So it didn't feel like your skills and the game was trying to like open up and let you do it in whatever way you could get it done. It just felt really, really restrictive. But overall, I liked the variety of mission structures, of mission types. The ship sailing was a little bit, probably 20% too much, where it was like most of it, 80% of it is good, and it feels like it's part of the game and it's developed right. But then there was some aspects where it just felt that they wanted you to do too much. They treated the ship sort of with RPG elements where you had to like go buy upgrades and stuff. And it wasn't like experience based. It was like you had to go get a bunch of money. So like in order for me to do some of the quests, they like before you started the main story quest, it was like, oh, you better upgrade your ship. And then you go and you look at some of the upgrades and it's like you need $30,000 to increase like the defense on your ship. It's like, well, now I gotta grind out like those assassin side missions for like 5 hours in order to get that much money, or you know, go hunting and fishing and sell stuff, or go plundering. And it's like, yeah, they want you to play the game, but you should be able to go through the story in one without having to grind on the side. Like I get that people, if they wanted to grind, they can, but also it just felt kind of like padding. But I also didn't upgrade the ship, and I was doing some of the missions, and I made it through some of them, but later on I had to definitely grind in order to get a little bit more cannon power and stuff, because some of the ships towards the end of the game get really, really strong. And if you don't have very much defense, or very much like your side cannons aren't very powerful, you're going to get destroyed like really quickly. So those are kind of my gripes with it. Also the traversal, it's super finicky. Like it's smooth and fluid when it works, but there are some times where it's just like you're jumping up a wall and then he just keeps jumping up the wall, but you're like trying to go over instead of just going forward into the wall, but he'll just keep, and it's like, so I did it 4 times, he looks like an idiot, and it's like, all right, well now whatever. Or like you'll go to do a jump, and instead of like him just jumping to it, he'll like almost fall and then grab the ledge, or like get shot by an enemy and then he'll like fall all the way down. And it's like, well, you know, I get it, like, but it just seems like not as fluid as it leads you to believe that it is. And so some of the stuff in the missions you have to retry over and over because he didn't make the jump, or he like jumped on a little bit of an angle and then just fell to his death instead of jumping onto the only ledge that was out there. It's like, well, why can't you just give it like a little bit of like magnetism here? Like, you know, he's going to be trying to jump to that single ledge in that specific mission, but like, you know, that's just nitpicky stuff. But overall, this is my favorite pirate game. I don't really know of any other games where you know, man a ship and go out and plunder, and it's like an open world thing. But I know Sea of Thieves and then the other one that Ubisoft released this year, but I'm not trying to do live service games. I like the standalone story-based stuff. And this game definitely satisfies that. It scratches that itch. I recently played Batman Arkham City, and comparing these two games, like I'm a little bit burned out on the open world Ubisoft formula with the combat and stuff, but it's not too bad. But like comparing, like I prefer Batman over that, and I really like Pirates too, so it's kind of interesting to see that. But that my preference would be actually to play Batman over this if I was going to play either one again. But I really enjoyed the beauty and the scenery. Like the scenery in this game, for it being released in 2013, it's a really beautiful game. I'm not sure, I played it on the PS4, so the PS4 Slim, so I'm not really sure if it's the HD version or something, but like, or if they remastered it or whatever. I think it just said Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, so I don't know. I guess I could looked it up, but it looks beautiful. It plays really well. There's no major hiccups or anything like that, so it definitely is a polished video game. The upgrades on the ship and buying the upgrades from the shop for your sword and your pistol, and I didn't even upgrade the pistol at all, and I used that a ton in the game. I just kind of like cheesed the pistol most of the time, because it's like these dudes come up and it's a rock paper scissors mechanic, and you get the big guys that can hit you like twice and you're dead. So like every time I saw them, I just unload a whole thing, because you get more pistols throughout the story, and he kind of stacks them on his chest and on his side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, like he just can like full on go at them. So it's like when I see these big guys, and then I try to separate them, get them to a high point and kick them off the ledge. But it's an interesting game because you can feel it starting to turn one way, where it's like I played 3 a couple years ago. I finished 3 again, and then I finished 2 a long time ago, and that one always stood out as like my favorite because I put so many hours into that game. But I think it was because that was a new and fresh genre at that point. Like, it was a new and fresh idea at that point, and now it just feels stale, and it feels like there are other people that did it better. His health regenerates, which it sort of helps. Like, sometimes you get overwhelmed, and it's like you can kind of run back, run away, and it'll regenerate and kind of help you out a little bit. Where in Arkham City, it didn't really do that, so you're just kind of screwed if you got taken down. But then I think you had to like escape or something, and then it would recharge back like slowly. But yeah, Assassin's Creed 4, Black Flag, I'd put it up there. One of the top like 2 Assassin's Creed games. I can't tell if it's 2 or this one, but 3 was all right. There was less naval stuff, which kind of made it better, but I don't really like the whole colonial like America where it was like mostly nature that you were in. This one seems a little bit more naturey, but you're also doing a lot of boat stuff. And then I played Odyssey, and that game's boo-boo. Like, it was cool for a little bit, but it was just too expansive and too restrictive with the leveling system. It's like, okay, man, so I can't go here, and even if they're like 1 level above me, you just get wrecked. And then there was the bad guys that would always come in whenever you're fighting anywhere, like the higher level, whatever, elite enemies. This is stupid. So, yeah, probably top 2. Subscribe, hit that like. I appreciate it. Yeah, thanks for tuning in.